Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. I'm just doing some sharing. Hello, hello. Hello, guys. I'm just doing some sharing. Sharing is caring, apparently. So I'm just sharing it out to people right now. How are you doing? I'm going to have my cards out here in a minute. Hello, Heavens. How are you? All right, sharing on this one too. So I'm going live on multiple channels. I'm on TikTok, on these two down here, 2 different TikTok channels. And then on that one up there, I'm on 2 different YouTube channels and Facebook. So I'm on a few different channels. So if you see me looking up and looking over and stuff like that, you'll understand it's just the different cameras that I have to look at. Okay. Sharing on this channel here, and then we'll be good. Okay. How are you doing? How's your Saturday? I forget who I think there. I think there. So there we go. How are you doing? How are we doing today? I'm going to have some tea while I wait for some people to show up, and I'm going to give myself some love on here. 222 on the timer. I do love a nice warm tea. What's something that you like? What's something that you really enjoy? Hello, hello. How are you guys? All right. 126 likes on that one. Let's see what we get on this one. Do the same. We'll do a certain number of taps and then leave it. Hi, boobs. Or Patty. I guess it'd be Patty that's here now. Hi, guys. All right, I'm going to pull out the cards in a moment here, and we'll do an energy check-in, and we'll see what comes up for that. Hi, guys. Hi, how are you? Hi. Hello. All right. Okay, what did we get on this one? 168. All righty. Let's pull the cards out. And 10:10 on the time, guys. 10:10. Perfect time. All right. I've not done the timeless tarot reading for today. I haven't checked in energetically with the cards yet. So I will be checking in, obviously, with the energy. But I'll also later on do another reading, just a general reading for the collective that I will post on my channels as well. Maybe I will give some cards today. It depends on how active you are. If you're liking the live and commenting and being active, then you might be able to get a card today. But let's see what the collective energy is. So I do this every one of my lives. I go live on Saturday morning. I go live Sunday evening and Wednesday evening. And in those lives, everyone, I check in on the collective energy. So this may apply to you. It may not. You'll see where you are within the collective energy, because there is a shifting or a span of energy, right? Like it's like a spectrum, right? Of where you would be sitting within the energy. 444 on the time. All right. So before I get started, I'm going to just settle myself in, right? Because it's important that my energy is clear before I start distributing the cards. Because if I start handling the cards and I'm all in, you know, some sort of energy, then that's just going to add to the reading, and it can add to it in a negative way. So the people that you're getting your readings from, they have to be very in touch with their energy and ensuring that their energy is clean and not affecting the cards for you. Right? If I come into it and I'm all frustrated, right, when I come in to do the reading and I don't clean my energy or clear my space, then there's a possibility that I'm going to be sharing with you that energy, right? And I don't want to be doing that. I want it to be clean and clear. So I'm just going to take a couple of breaths. Okay. And I'm going to encourage you to take a couple of breaths with me. Today is the return to center day. And this is where we return to ourselves. We come back to our body. We come back to the present moment. And when we come back to ourselves and to the present moment and sit within our bodies, our awareness expands. The truth is more evident to us, right? Once our brains are hijacked and our thoughts get hijacked into fear or lack or anything else, when our brains are out in the future, sitting in the past, when it's doing all of that stuff, our awareness narrows. We can't be having our thoughts way out there going, oh my God, this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, and still feel the truth in our bones, or be aware of everything else that's going on, right? We tend to just get into that narrow view of focusing on this. Hello, survivor. So yeah, we're going to hang out for a little bit. I'm going to check in on the cards to see where the collective is at. We're going to return to center, and then we're going to do the global meditation. And the global meditation is on peace, love, unity, and truth. So that's what we do every Saturday here. So let's check in. Hello, how are you? I like how you did that, Daniela. I like it. All right. So let's see. What is the collective energy right now, Spirit? Can I get a good message? And for me, I love to be very upfront with people. When I say spirit, hi, Emrock. When I say spirit, I mean the prime creator, the creator of all. It's not anything. It's the source of all creation. That's what I'm channeling from. Okay, so we're checking in on the collective energy. So what's going on with the collective right now, Spirit? Can I get a good message? They're being nice coming out this time. Wow. So how are you doing? How are you feeling? How's your energy? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you doing any overthinking? Like, where are you at? How are you feeling? Right? Where are you in your awakening journey? All right. Right? How are you doing in your healing? I'm just looking and seeing what direction, I like to start my cards on the inverted and then go to the upright. Okay. All right. We didn't have too much that was inverted. And this is the collective. So this may apply to you and it may not apply to you. So take what resonates and just let go of the rest. Because like I said, this is looking at collectively, like society, what is going on in the collective right now. So we have the Three of Fire in the reverse. When the Three of Fire is in the reverse, it's talking about doubt, impatience, delays in manifestations, lack of confidence, hesitation in moving forward. And this is collectively. Collectively, there are a lot of us who are like, oh my God, I'm like manifesting like crazy to have this life that I desire, to have all these things that I want. Where is it? Or, the frustration of waiting for the waiting for the new earth, let's say. Maybe you're somebody who's beyond, doing healing on individual, and you're someone that's like actively awakening into, we create new earth. Well, if you're somebody that believes that you're creating the new earth, you may be frustrated with the fact that, look, I'm doing the work, I'm doing the I'm doing the meditations, I'm doing the rituals, I'm doing the rites, I'm doing everything. Why is nothing changing? Right? And that could be very much what we're feeling with this Three of Fire in the shadow. So this is collectively, right? And the Three of Fire is calling you to keep going, to trust in the path ahead and embrace the momentum that is carrying you toward greatness. You are moving with divine purpose. This is only the beginning, right? So this is just that reminder for us that are here. It's moving, it's happening. So we had the Three of Ether as well as the Nine of Ether in the reversed position. So remember, this deck that I'm using is a deck that I created. All of these images are mine. The whole entire deck is mine. It's the Etherian Tarot, and it's exclusive to me right now, though it will be available at some point for purchase. I have the ether set included in this. So a typical a typical tarot deck, it includes 4 suits, the 4 suits, and it has 22 major arcana cards. So that's the typical structure. And I added the ether suit plus an additional card called the Cosmic Key, and that's my ether set. You can take out the ether suit plus the Cosmic Key and have just a regular tarot deck, or you can have the advanced deck. I work with it with the ether set. So these 2 cards are from the ether suit, which isn't in a typical tarot deck, just to give you some understanding. All right. So we had the Three of Ether that was in the shadow. And when the Three of Ether is in the shadow, there's a resistance to collaboration, maybe isolation. I hear that all the time. Most of us that are on the awakening path, we become very isolated because we can't have simple conversations with people, or the people, hi love, or the people that we, maybe resonated with before, we don't anymore. I put a post up the other day about a plane. And I put about a plane that went overhead that had nothing behind it, just a regular, and then a plane that went over it and it had, left something behind it. And I went regular plane, and then I put on this one ASSHOLE, but using dollar signs for the S's, right? I was attacked. I've never been attacked like that. Never attacked like that on a post before. The names that I got called, the number of people that, attacked me because I think, or that the ones that are in the sky are spraying us with metals and stuff, right? And I was just like, I was called so many names. I was swore at and insulted, and it was just like, wow, because I disagree with you. Right. And, I think about back in the days, with all that was going on with the, right, with all of that and the people that stood against that and how much we were attacked over and over for it. Right. So to answer your question, the live today is a variety of things. One, I do an energy check-in on the collective to see where we're sitting with the collective energy. And then I also help you to return to center. So I'd like to do a little check-in on how everyone's feeling, and if they need anything, then I can help you get back to your own center. And then finally, we have our global meditation that we do. So we meditate together on peace, love, unity, and truth for the collective, so we can help to raise the vibration. Hi, Mickey. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. Did you hear that a lot? All right. So this three of ether, when it's in where there's that isolation, right? There's difficulty aligning with divine timing. So, we may feel like we're just off, like things are just not quite aligning for us in things. There could be blockages on creativity or spiritual connection. So when you think about that collectively, we are seeing where there seems to be like this disconnect from their spirituality, right? And that was done by design. Right? Instead of having spirituality, we had somebody come along and tell us, this is how you're going to see, your higher power. And it's going to be through one of these religions, or you're not going to have any religion at all. And you're not going to listen to your heart. You're going to listen to your brain. That's the other thing. That was one of the big switches that they did. They said, we're going to listen to the brain. The brain's the command center. That's not true. Your heart feels out into your field and it sends information to your brain. The neural pathways between your heart to your brain are way, way more than the neural pathways that come from your brain to your heart, because your heart is the one that's actually running the show. Your body and your body feels things before your mind even has an opportunity to register it. Right? If somebody asks you a question, right? If I said to you, do you want to free fall from the Empire State Building in one of those squirrel suits? If I ask you that with all seriousness, your body's going to give you a reaction. Mine actually went a little cold. Like I went a little, ooh, I don't think that I want to do that. I don't think I want to free fall, because my body's telling me, like I just, nope. Right? So your body's going to tell you those things, but there is this lack of connection to spirituality because we've been trained to listen to our brain and disregard our body. We've been taught that the only way that we can know anything is if somebody gives us that information, and it has to come from somebody with a degree behind their name. And if it isn't that, then it's got to be false. Right? That's where we're sitting with this information. And that's disconnected us from our spirituality and from our inner knowing. All right, we have the 9 of ether as well. So there were 2 3s in the inverted. We have the 9 of ether that was reversed as well. And this is talking about hesitation stepping into our full power. There's a lot of us out there that have no idea. We have no idea who and what we are. Right? We see ourselves as just a physical body having this one lifetime. Some of us have the concept of we're just this physical body that's having this lifetime. And at the end, we either go to an eternal heaven or an eternal hell. Some of us think we have this body, we go rot in a box and we return to the earth and that's it. That's all. Some of us think, we have this body, we have a spirit, we go through this council where we talk about all the things that we did in this lifetime and didn't do right and and then we have to reincarnate here, and we have to keep reincarnating here until we, overcome all of our karma. And then there's those of us that know that we are a spiritual being having a human experience, and that's the connection that they want to sever. They want us to always look for an intermediary between us and who and what we truly are and our access to that knowledge. Your body contains all the information, right? Like, and I don't mean like necessarily your physical body, but through your DNA, through your bones, your spine is an antenna, right? Your frequency is huge. What you think, what you feel is affecting your frequency all the time. So you want to be, in that alignment of the energy that, in that energy. So we need to have that connection back, and we need to stop looking external to us and thinking that everybody else knows more than us. You can access information. This is what the channeled message was that I had that came through today. You can access information all over the place, and your body, you're constantly from your environment picking up information, right? Your brain's scanning, your body's feeling into things, and you're constantly picking up that information. You might even go to a class, you might even take a course, you might watch a reel, you might, interact with all kinds of different things, even reading a book. But if you're not interacting and then applying that, it's just information. And information is accessible everywhere. The way that it becomes knowledge is by the application of it. And it becomes that because you believe it. You believe the information that you've received. It aligns with with you, and you activate it. And the activating it can be in any way. Maybe you go and you take, a healing journey, and they tell you about mindfulness and meditation and breath work and whatever. And during that whole thing, it's like, yes, I feel amazing. The breath work is amazing. I'm loving the meditation. And then you get home and you don't keep doing it. Right? Then you haven't applied it. So there's a couple of reasons why we won't apply it. Right? We might not apply it because our ego goes, oh my God, if I apply that, this identity of me is going to be lost. This identity, because I identified as that victim. I had so much trauma, and it just became something that, was just a part of who I was. But while I identified with that as a part of who I was, that means you're not willing to put it down. And we have to disassociate from that label. That's not who we are. We're the essence beyond and before all of those traumas were ever applied, right? We're so much more than the masks that we're wearing or what society tells us we have to be. It's coming back to that knowledge. So this hesitation to step into our power, it comes from the fact that we know when we step into our power, we're going to have to say goodbye to certain people. We're going to have to say goodbye to certain environments, because you can't stay in the same space, right? You can't stay in the same space. And there's a lot of people who will not resonate with you anymore because of the changes that you're making. And when you do step away from mainstream, and so many of us are, where we're saying, wait a second, I was going to my doctor, and my doctor was just giving me another pill and another pill and another pill, and I was not getting any better. And when you look at the research, like they did research on statins, I think they did a research on which one was it? So I was a nurse for over 20 years. I left my nursing career to start my company on trauma and mental health, and help people with their trauma after I went through my own healing journey, and I felt that the medical system failed me. The medical system just wanted to give me another medication, and I was so sedated that I wasn't even allowed to drive anymore. So I got tired of being like that, took my health into my own hands, and found that there actually was healing, and that you actually could overcome your trauma. You didn't have to be on medications for the rest of your life. And so I now have a completely clean bill of health from all of my diagnosis. I take no medications, and I love my life. That's what caused me to leave. It was knowing that, right? But you have to be willing to step into your power and step away from that. The amount of, criticism and judgment and, like people thinking that I've lost my mind because I left nursing to go into spirituality. But that's because your spirit is a huge part of the healing journey. And when you're in mainstream medicine and you're looking at a psychologist, they're not looking at your spirit, maybe your mind. Doctor, maybe your body, maybe they might be looking at those two things together, but they're not looking at the spirit. And without the spirit, you're missing a big portion of it. So we need to be looking at what does our spirit require. And so all of this stuff is coming out for the collective. So we have that hesitation to step into our power, that fear of our own light, right? And because we don't know, right? We've been so disconnected from it. The teachings aren't there. We don't get taught about this in school. We don't get taught about spirituality, right? But it's a significant portion of who you are. We don't get taught that our heart feels out into the field and senses things and then tells your brain what to do. We don't get taught that. We get taught that the brain is the command center, right? So these are things that we're detached from as a society. So it's understandable why we are afraid of our light or afraid of our power, because we don't understand it is something unknown to us on purpose. Then we have the sun. We'll show it the right way. I picked it up and then I sit there and I don't drink it until I get a really good tickle in my throat. Okay. So we have the sun card coming out. So the sun is, when it's in the reverse, is talking about sadness, clouded vision, self-doubt, fear of being seen, and blocked joy. This is collective energy. This doesn't mean that it's applying directly to you. This is what we're seeing collectively or feeling collectively. And there is the more that stuff gets applied, and especially depends on where your awareness is. If you're applying your awareness to the news and media and TV and music and all of the stuff that they're throwing at you that way, then you probably are going to be in a fearful space, or thinking that there's not enough. Like there's all kinds of things that come up from the way that we're inundated with all of this information over and over and over again. Right? The more that we're in fear, the more that we're detached from ourselves. Even the chakra system. I do this, I have a whole education. I do talks on it every single day. For my channels, I'll put out a little post on it every day. And what I'm just looking for my notes on, is it this one? Let me see. I just want to find my page on it. Oh, there we go. So I talk about the Christic embodiment method, which is the Christic embodiment method is my personal way to capture the chakra system. So the chakras are 50 gates that are separated across 7 energetic bodies. And when we're looking at these gates, like the 50 gates, they deepen, right? But when we look at what is the thing that keeps your chakra system not functioning correctly more than anything, and this is what they target us, right? So when so I'll explain this really quickly. So each of the 50 gates expresses across multiple layers of the human energy field. So the first gates are across the physical. The second layer is the emotional. The third, the mental. The fourth, the identity. The fifth is the transpersonal. The sixth is the local. And then the seventh is the unintegrated latent layer that only has 30 chakras instead of 50, right, of the gates. So these are reflections of the same gates. They're not new structures. So it's not 330 gates. It's 50 gates expressed across 7 energy. So when we look at why does your chakra system destabilize? 1, your environment is disconnected from natural regulation. How are we set up as a world right now? Right? We're not taught to think of as nature as an extension of us. We're not taught to interact. We're not taught to harmonize with her. We're not taught to harmonize with the plant. Like we're not taught any of that, right? We are taught that, oh my God, we're destroying nature with pollution. We get taught that, but then we don't get taught how to, we don't get taught the right thing to not have that happen, right? Like if you want to control consumption, right, then teach people not to want to buy so much. Make things that last longer. Remember back in the day, we used to get a Maytag washer and you could almost hand that down to your children. The thing lasted so long. Now we're lucky if we have a wash machine that lasts 5 years. We used to get a phone that, you could get update, and it was great. Now we have to change our phone every couple of years because they don't work anymore, right? It's by design. They are building in the death of the item or the end of the item, the decay, and so that you have to purchase something to replace it. So everything is built with that idea of it falling apart so that you have to buy another one. So it's just they've created this cycle of consumption, and then they tell you, oh, we're destroying the world. Hi, D. Lindsay. How are you, love? Right? We're destroying the world. What can you do about it? Well, let's pay another tax. Let's give the government more money, because if you give the government more money, they'll fix it, because they've done that before. Every time we've ever given them money, they've always fixed everything we gave them the money to fix, right? Like they've just got a 100% freaking batting average, right? Like they're just on. No, they're not. They failed at everything. Like if I was to be a teacher and give the government a report card, they would get I don't know if you can give them below an F. They would have to go to remedial education for everything that they're done. They've not fixed anything. Nothing is done in a way that is beneficial to us as a human being, as a spirit having a human existence. Our world is not the way that it should be. So we're disconnected from nature. We're disconnected from the natural timings, right? Exactly. We'll just have a little QR code and they can just scan us. right? And they'll be like, oh, she's in her 50s and, like she's had some surgeries, so she's kind of low. Yeah, we got to lower the expiry date on this one. We'll make it shorter. Right? Okay, we can talk a little bit about the chakra systems, even though I'm only halfway through the collective reading. So most of the time, like we were taught that the chakra system is 7, right? That there's 7 chakras internal to you. No, don't apologize. Don't apologize. I love it when we're interacting and we're having conversations, right? That's much better. So when the chakra system is not a fixed number structure, right? So we have in our minds, many of us have been taught that there's 7, right? There's your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root that sit within you. And then we learn things about, like, there's a higher heart. We learn that there's the one at the back of the head. Maybe you learn that the soul star, you learn the earth, you learn all of these other chakras of the ones that exist outside of you. Right? But it is not limited to 7 chakras. And it is not represented by the 330 separate chakras that is out there in some of the older literature, or in some of the other literature that'll talk about 330. The way that it is it's best understood as there are core gates that are expressed across layers of consciousness. So that's the way that it works. So you have 50 gates, but that one gate, so the first gate, which would be your root gate, that first gate is going to be expressed across every layer of your energetic body. It's not just the one. So when you look at it that way, that's how you get the 330. Because like I said, the final gate or the final layer is only partially represented with 30. So the purpose isn't to accumulate more. It's just about your integration and your coherence of these gates, right? So at the foundation, we have our 50 core gates that are spread across the energetic bodies. And these are not points, but functional interfaces between consciousness and embodiment, right? So we have to keep that in mind no matter what we're doing. And you might go and see some spiritual teachers and they're talking all about spirituality, but I don't do that. I talk about spirituality from the concept of embodiment, right? We are spiritual beings having a human experience, which is in the physical. So for those of the people out there that are trying to teach you that you're going to elevate yourself, or you're going to raise your frequency, or you're going to ascend out of your body, that's not the point. The point has always been to bring your spirit into your body and live as your spirit, like in the way that your spirit should, honoring that, right? We're supposed to live in that way. And when we do that, that's that embodied living, right? And it's everything that I talk about is embodiment. You have to live it for it to be real. Otherwise, it's just information. It's not knowledge, right? It's not knowledge until it's applied. So if you're around me, I'm going to be teaching you to embody these things and, to be in alignment with it. So when we're looking at these functional interfaces between consciousness and embodiment, each gate represents a frequency band. They represent a function of perception or creation, and they are a mode of interaction with reality. So these gates are organized through patterning, not a vertical ladder alone, which is what the typical chakra system conveys, is that you have your root, and then you have your sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and then your crown, right? And that some people will teach you to just, like, the whole goal is to open up your crown chakra. Well, if your root isn't stabilized, your crown chakra isn't going to do you much good being opened. All that's going to cause is fragmentation. It's going to make you scattered. It's going to, it's going to really mess you up more than anything. You want to be working on stabilizing the gates, right? And so I teach in that way. These gates are, like I said, they're organized through patterning, not just the vertical ladder. And the key thing to know is you do not activate more and more chakras. You stabilize and integrate the system that already exists. Okay. So yeah, that can give you a little bit of understanding about the chakras. I'll give you a little bit more. Hi, Midlight Purple. How are you, love? I'll give you a little bit more. So when we're looking at the 50 gates as the functional map that I have, instead of abstract or symbolic interpretations, the 50 gates are best understood through function in the body and the nervous system. Okay, so like I said, we're bringing the consciousness and we're embodying in that embodiment. So we have to marry the spirit and the body. When we're looking at the first 10 gates, the first 10 gates are about regulation. So this is safety, breath, heart rate variability, grounding, and physical presence. The next layer of gates, or the 11 to 20 gates, they are about sensory and emotional gates. So this is where you have your emotional processing, your sensory integration, your attachment patterns, and your felt experiences. From gates 21 to 30, these are your cognitive and perceptual gates. So this is where you have your thought patterns, your meaning making, your belief systems, and your pattern recognition. And I need to take a sip. Or a drink. Then you have at 4 is from 31 to 40 is your expression and identity gates. So this is your voice, your boundaries, your personal authority, and creative input or output, sorry. And then in 41 to 50, so the final 10, that is your coherence under pressure, your holding complexities, your decision making, and your field leadership. So you can see how you would go through the first 10 gates first and have them stabilized, because that's your safety, right? And without having that regulation, right, without having your nervous system regulated, you're not going to be able to hold anything, because the cue that you're giving to the universe is that you can't handle what you're already holding, because your nervous system is out of whack, right? If somebody comes to me and says, "Oh my God, I have this beautiful opportunity for you, and it's going to involve," and they started saying it was going to be like 30 hours of like this event or whatever, and they were just like, "You're going to have to take this, and there's going to be 3,000 people, and da 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 da." If I didn't have the capacity to handle that, my body's going to react. My body's going to react by tightening up, or I'm going to feel some tension. There's going to be something that's my body's going to give me a cue to tell me that I don't have the capacity for that, because my nervous system can't handle it. So if you're already at work and you're like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," and let's say you are managing 10 people and you're like, and you're running around kind of scattered, and you're you're dysregulated all the time. If I'm your manager above you, I'm not going to give you 10 more people to manage, because if I did, I'm going to expect that you're going to burn out and crash. And why would I want that? Right? So your nervous system tells you what you can hold, if you can handle more. And you feel that in your body when the question gets asked very clearly. So we want to be working on the first 10 gates, have them stabilized, then move to the next 10 gates, stabilize them, and continue until you get to the leadership gates, or the top 10, sorry, with the top 10 gates. All right. So I'm going to give you this last little bit, and then we're going to skip over back to the cards and finish the reading, because we're getting to the good part. We got to the part where all the cards are up right now. So each gate must be felt in the body, not conceptualized, tolerated by the nervous system, and expressed in behavior. It needs all of those points. So you need to track whether you are regulated or dysregulated or adaptive. So regulated, you have the ability to handle anything that comes at you, or you're able to handle more. When you're dysregulated, maybe you're overwhelmed, maybe you're running in panic mode, maybe you're dealing with a lot of anxiety, your breath is up here. There's a lot of different ways, and sometimes dysregulated shows up very subtle, especially for those who have been dysregulated their whole lives. The adaptive is where, you're not fully dysregulated to the point where you can't handle anymore. You're functioning, but you're not fully integrated with whatever it is, with one of the gates. Let's say you're not fully integrated. So that's the way that the system works. And I'll talk more about it. I keep doing content on it, but let's get back to our reading with the collective and see where we're headed, because, we're pretty sad here, disconnected from our spirituality. We're feeling a bit impatient and feeling like our manifestations are being delayed, but we always heading somewhere. And there's also different things. There's many people that are experiencing a different reality than you are right now. I do not experience the same reality that you experience, because I don't live in the same environments that you live in. I don't have the same nervous system as you. I don't go work in the place that you work in. I don't hang out with the people that you hang out with, right? So my reality is already entirely different. I live in Alberta, Canada. I live in the country. So anyone that lives in the city, my life is totally different than that too, right? So that's that functioning of it. All right. So we had all that stuff about the disconnection, and we see that there's people that are afraid to step into their power, and it's understanding that sometimes that means letting go of things. So that's understandable. All right, we have the Two of Fire. So the collective is doing this strategic planning. There's this visionary leadership, collaboration, and ambition, right? There's expansion that's coming. There's this energy, and we can feel it. It's the energy that it's almost like the wheel is picking up. It's turning faster, or things are moving quicker. I just realized I didn't stick my comments from StreamYard out so that I can see them. So give me 2 seconds to do that. Open in a new window, and then I can stick them over there so then I can see if somebody messages me. I'm so happy that StreamYard did that for me. All right. So we've got this, the beginning of an exciting journey, that feeling, that energy, like it's picking up, right? We have the Nine of Air. Whoops, we'll show the front of the card. How about that? The Nine of Air. So the Nine of Air collectively, this is like there's some anxiety that's going on in the collective. There are definitely people that are overthinking, fears maybe taking over, having sleepless nights, and mental anguish. So this is still that one part of the collective, but there's the other part of us who have done the work and are continuing to do the work, where we're breathing, we're centering, we are not investing in it. We understand that most of it is just a charade. It's a show, right? There's a lot of actors, even, in areas where you wouldn't think there'd be actors, but there's a lot of that. Okay, so a lot of the collective is definitely dealing with that, but there's the rest of the collective that's like, no, we've got to make the new earth. We're going to create this. We're going to do this. We're going to, and we do that through being calm, cool-headed, collected, not investing in the stuff that's just fake or meant to make you fearful, make you in lack, like all of that stuff. We're just not even investing in that. We're staying in our sovereignty. We are the creators of the new earth. We understand that we are the ones that determine the wheel as it's spinning, whether or not it's fate or destiny. And this is destiny for us. It may be, a bit bad for the other folks, but not for us. All right. We also have the Emperor, the High Priestess, and the King of Fire. Like this is powerful energy coming up. So for the other people, we are connected to our spirituality. We have the deep intuition, right? We've been doing the work. We've been connecting to our body, doing the breath work, getting real with ourselves. We understand what the truth is. So we are accessing sacred knowledge. We have this deep inner wisdom that we're connecting to, and it's the rise of the divine feminine. Now remember, that rise of the divine feminine is rise in the divine masculine as well. It's not just the women that have the divine feminine energy. Everything has masculine and feminine. So this rise is rising through the masculine as well. But don't worry, we're bringing the masculine too with the Emperor. So the Emperor, this is definitely that divine masculine energy, but this is the leadership from a space of, the proper leader looks at the lowest member of their society, or the collective, or their group. Like if you're a manager, you should be looking at the health of the lowest member of your team as an indicator of how healthy your entire team is. right? So if the people in your government or in your facility or in your company, if the people in your company don't have a living wage, right? So the people in your company aren't able to pay for all their bills, you know, they're going hungry, they have to have a secondary job, they have to do all of those things. Well, then your company's failing, right? Your management is failing. If you've got a lot of, you know, dysfunction between the members on your team, then your management is failing somewhere. There's something that you need to be doing differently, right? So these are like, that's the leadership. The leadership is that you want to, you know, you want to be finding the people that are the best of the best. And even if that means that at some day the person that you hired onto your team becomes a manager of you because that's just, they're that outstanding, that's okay, because it's about the best for the entire company and about the all. But we're not in that right now. We're in the you know, the other side right now is still in the me. How can I make billions for me? I got so much money, I'll never spend it. I got so much money, my family will never spend it, right? I've got so much money, I will never, ever be able to spend it. But it's okay that members of people that are working for me can't afford to live. That's not leadership. That's greed. That's hoarding wealth. And we're not supposed to do that. We're just not. And that's what the true leadership is. So this King of Fire, he's visionary. He's like that visionary leadership. And the King of Fire brings spirituality to the table, although not as much as the King of Ether, but definitely if you take the Ether suit out, this king is very passionate, very much run from the spirit, from the soul. So this is purpose-driven action. There's motivation, courage, stepping into your highest power. So while we have, like I said, on the one side, we have society that's afraid to step into their power, that's disconnected from spirituality, you know, disconnected from their body, from knowing the truth, from being able to step in that. And it's very much, they're dealing with this overthinking, overwhelm, it's too much energy that's going on. And then you have the rest of us who understand how we need to be working with our nervous system. We need to have done the trauma healing, stared at our shallows, moved through those things, right? So that we can move forward the way that we meant to. All right. We are going to do a meditation shortly, but I want to check in with everybody on how you're doing first. So how are you doing? And thank you for all the likes, you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with me and thanks for hanging out with me. Yeah. Right. But how are you guys doing? How's your energy? You okay? Good. Good. How about you, Midlight Purple? Fantastic. Good. I'm glad. Thank you so much for interacting with all of my content. I appreciate you, Myers. Yes, I appreciate you all. Okay. So how about a card? Okay. How about a card? All right. We got a card for the two of you. All right. Sir Carl on bed. The quiet mind. That fell out, landed right on my knee, jumped right out there, actually. So your affirmation is, I allow my mind to rest in silence. Silence is not absence, it's access. When input reduces, insight increases. The mind can learn to rest without losing awareness. From quiet, precision returns. Practice. Set a 3-minute timer. No input. Each thought, return to breath. So there you go. You've been told you need to meditate for 3 minutes with no phone, no music, no nothing. Just a quiet room, your thoughts. And when your thoughts come up, just back to the breath, back to the breath, back to the breath. Right? That's awesome. All right, Myers, what does Myers need to hear today? Apparently you want Okay. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. It's saying the same time. So I'm going to move my mouse out of the way so I don't hit it again. And I'll pick up the cards. All right. So there were a few that fell down, but only one was facing the wrong way. Aw, thank you, Flirty Birdie. Happy Mother's Day, if that applies to you as well. We got the sacred service, Myers. And your affirmation is, my gifts support the well-being of others. Remembrance. Service is expression, not sacrifice. It flows from capacity. Sustainable service requires boundaries. Your practice is to offer one useful action, do it cleanly, and do not seek validation. Okay, so you got to go do something for someone just because. No validation required, right? No validation required. All right, Flirty Birdie, would you like a card? Apparently you do. The card came out right when I asked. And then we're going to do our meditation. Ah, yes. I love that. That's beautiful. All right. The card that came out is the unknown path. And the unknown path, the affirmation, I trust the path even when it is unclear. Remembrance, clarity is often incremental. Trust is the capacity to move without full visibility. Each step reveals the next. Over control narrows options. Your practice is to take one step without over planning, check in after, and note the outcome. Okay. All right. We're going to get our meditation going. We're going to be meditating for peace, love, unity. Peace, love, unity, truth. Nice. Okay, so we're going to be meditating on peace, love, unity, and truth. Okay, and we are going to be envisioning this lovely symbol in the center of the circle is called the flower of life. So we're just going to envision this at a certain point within the in the meditation. Okay. So that's all you have to think is that particular symbol. Okay. And this kind of fell down a little bit. There we go. All right. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit and remind everybody what you want to do is get yourself into a comfortable position with your spine upright. Okay. You want to make sure that your device is in a safe place so that it doesn't get dropped at all. And obviously you want to make sure that you're in a situation where you can close your eyes. If you're driving your car right now, please do not do the meditation. Wait until you get home and go get it off of the YouTube recording and watch it then. Okay. So you're safe. I'm safe. Everybody's safe to close your eyes and then we can get started. Okay. All right. So first things first, close your eyes. Okay. And what I want you to do first is just focus on your feet. Put your attention into your feet as we slow down our breathing. We're going to start breathing in through our nose, down into our tummy. And then out through our mouth, nice and slow. Like we're blowing out candles. We're going to breathe in again. And out. Shift your awareness from your feet to your seat. And breathe in again, nice and slow into your tummy. And out through your mouth. Another breath in through your nose. Each time that we breathe in, allow yourself to sink a little deeper. And to exhale through the mouth. Shift your awareness now to your heart space. Breathe in and out. Another breath in and out. Bring your awareness to the top of your head, also known as your crown chakra. Breathe in and out. One more breath in and out. Allow yourself through your root system to ground into Mother Gaia. You can see visually these energetic roots extending from your seat down into the earth, connecting with the other roots that exist there from all the trees and the mycelium network. And really ground in. And we're going to open our soul star chakra, which is located 6 to 12 inches above our head. And we're going to allow for that beautiful pure source light to pour through that hole that we open up bigger and bigger until it expands to the full size of our aura, of our toroidal body, our energetic space, which is about 6 to 9 feet in circumference around you. Allow yourself to be cleansed and cleared, removing any interference, any manipulation and lies, any connection to anything that does not benefit you or your highest good. This pure source light can clear any fog, any confusion. It can clear old timelines and contracts that you agreed to through manipulation, lies, distortion, corruption. It can cleanse anything that is not informed, agreed upon, consensual contracts. So to allow it to clear away all that is false, cleansing you in this beautiful pure source light. As it moves through your space, maybe at this point it's cleansed to your shoulder level, passing through your chest, down into your abdomen. Allow it to continue moving through, and anywhere that you notice any tension or tightness or pain, allow that pure source light to focus there. And maybe even take another breath in to that space specifically. And then exhale. Seeing the tension or the tightness or the pain dissolve, being transmuted by pure source light. Anything that you want to release at this time, allow it to be released through that beautiful transmutation process, allowing it to be cleansed by pure source light. Maybe now it's down into your bottom, into your seat and your legs, and moving down into your feet. When you're sitting in a beautiful orb of pure source light, cleansed, clean, whole. Allow that light to travel down the roots that you have extended into Mother Gaia and the mycelium network, and allow it to pour into her and into all life on Mother Gaia. cleansing and cleaning and clearing. And as each of us join today, and at whatever time you join this meditation, you are here with us now. Your specific node that is sitting there lit up with pure source light, pouring into Mother Gaia in that location, and me in mine, and all the other viewers in theirs. Now I want you to vision that beautiful flower of life that I showed you earlier. And if you missed that flower of life, don't worry, your body will know what it looks like. See that vision of that flower of life before you. And what you're going to do is you're going to allow that to pass through your entire personal field, that little gold glowing orb of light that you are right now. You're going to allow that flower of life to pass through it. It's going to imprint on every single cell in your body. It's going to inform your DNA. And the information that the flower of life contains is the divine, original, organic blueprint. Allow that to pass through your body, imprinting on every cell, encoding your DNA, aligning you with your origin. Before manipulation, before distortion, before hijack, before the veil. And once it passes through your body and your field, we're going to imprint this on Mother Gaia and all life and pass it through the entire earth together. As it finishes your own personal field down through the legs and the feet, and your entire personal field is a beautiful flower of life. We're going to send that flower of life down into Mother Gaia and across all life. The trees, the plants, the animals. And any person who is consenting and asking to know what was before the veil, or to be what was before manipulation and lies, who is seeking their divine origin, this will be received by them. And once that beautiful flower of life has passed over the earth and through the earth and through every being who wishes to receive it, we're going to together focus on the feeling of love. For some, we can picture someone that we love very deeply. If that's not something that you can do, then maybe you have a pet, or maybe you have that deep love for yourself. Bring that love to mind, either focusing on your child, your pet, yourself, or something that you love very deeply. And when you have that love built into your body, filling your cells, filling your heart. We're going to send that love down to earth, to Mother Gaia, to all the life, and make it available for anybody who is seeking love. Love in the hearts of all who are looking. They can find it within. Once we've sent the love down, the next thing we're going to do is focus on the feeling of peace. For this, you can imagine a time when you felt very peaceful. Maybe that time is now. I do hope that it is. You can think of things that represent peace if you're having difficulty. You can think about doves. You can think about soft white and how that represents that cushion, that peace, that stillness and sanctuary. And once you've got peace in mind and you're feeling it into your body, we're going to send that out to Mother Gaia, all the beings that live on her, and any humans that are looking for it, or anybody that's seeking it, that's asking to feel peace, that's looking for peace, they'll be able to receive it from us now. As we connect here today, we are reminded of unity consciousness. We are connected regardless of space or time. We've never been alone. We've just merely forgotten how to access what is beyond. What is within. As we connect here today and we build this network together, these energetic lines that connect us to each other, we connect through the ley lines of Mother Gaia, this beautiful crystalline structure that expands across the globe. Tap into that structure, and you'll feel the unity consciousness that runs through all life, through ourselves, through the plants, the animals, and Mother Gaia. As we remember what unity consciousness feels like, we can share that with the world and remind them that they are always connected. They're always connected to their higher power, and we're always connected to one another. What we do for ourselves and what we do in small moments like this matter more than people realize. Your intention carries significant weight. And when you sit in a quiet space, disconnected from input, focusing on an intention as pure as this, it's unbelievable the power it has to change things, to impact people. Part of the awakening process is knowing the truth and having access to that truth. That's why it's a part of the meditation that we do today. When we think about the Merkaba, we envision the two pyramids stacked, nesting one inside the other, with one pointing up and one pointing down. See a beautiful golden Merkaba around you. Ask for it to be spun correctly and as fast as you are able to manage at this time. Allow it to protect you and align you with the truth. Next, we're going to put this Merkaba, beautiful golden Merkaba, around the earth. One pyramid facing up, nesting in the other pyramid facing down. This golden Merkaba, we are going to spin it as fast as the earth can handle it, aligning the earth with the truth and protecting her in her ascension. Thank you so much for being here today and assisting in this. And whatever time you show up on this meditation is the right time. And thank you for joining us. We're going to start to focus back on ourselves. Put our awareness back on our feet and give them a little wiggle. Bring your awareness to your seat. Take a nice breath in and out. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Move them a little bit. And then when you're ready, back to your eyes and open them. And join me. Hi. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2 when I open my eyes. So pretty good. Pretty good. All right. How was that? How did you enjoy that meditation? I'm going to have a little bit of tea, which is cold because I didn't turn my heater on. Good. Let me know how that feels. You'll have to come back and see me every Saturday now. Okay. Definitely follow me. Definitely make sure you're following. Tomorrow night I'll be here. We're going to talk about the celestial briefing. So the celestial briefing is walking with the living sky is what I call it, because we're working with what's actually happening in the sky. So I use the Sky Live or the Live Sky, Sky Live. Let me see. I have it up here right now. Let me confirm. theskylive.com, and that's what I look at. So you can always check and refer what I'm saying. You can always confirm it by looking at the Sky Live. And when you look at it, you'll be able to set the location to you, so you'll get the time frames at the exact time for you, as opposed to for me, which would be in mountain time. So tomorrow we'll talk about that. We'll do an energy check-in. We will check in on what's happening with the planets, so we know how to work with the energy of the day. And then on Wednesdays, we get back together, and that's the embodied wisdom day. So we could be talking about the chakra system. We could be talking about returning to center. We could be talking about any number of things. That's the day that kind of catches a lot of different things. I saw that, Alan. Thank you. So yeah. We'll talk about those things. So tomorrow night it's at 6 p.m. and then on Wednesdays it's at 7:30 p.m. Mountain time for me. So whatever time it is for you. And yeah, Anna, if you go to my website, which is linked in my bio, you can sign up for a free clarity call. And it's a totally free call. then we can talk about what you're experiencing, and I can give you suggestions about what I would do. I offer that for anybody. If you're confused with what my website has to offer or what you would be looking for specifically, just take the free call and I'll let you know what my suggestion is. But I always tell everybody in the meantime, go join the free Temple of Light group that's available at my website. At least start there because it's free. And then if anything happened with social media, you'd still know where to find me. So the link is in both of the bios on whether it's the Anshara'El channel or the Sha'Ryah and Lorian channel. It's on either one of them. And you can also find all my other channels there too. That's the other thing. All my social channels are there, so you can check them out. And that way, there, if I ever get like a ban on TikTok, you'd still know I was on YouTube. Okay, that's it. That's all. I have an appointment today. I will look at what you sent me, Anna. I'll look at what you sent me. And but I have an appointment today. We're getting Hugs for Homeless on the radio today, so very excited about that. So you'll be able to, if you're in the Edmonton region, in the Edmonton area, you'll be able to catch us on the radio. I'll talk more about that later. But if you are looking to volunteer, or you are in the Edmonton area, or homeless is a thing that you're passionate about, like I'm passionate about, we could always use volunteers, donations, and just community outreach, right? Just getting our name out there. Hugs for Homeless, Hugs for Homeless. So yeah, and we were really excited because this past week we got a donation of 300 hygiene kits. So soon we're going to get 300 hygiene kits, hopefully 300 full backpacks out into society, out into the community. And I'm super excited about that. Super excited. So yeah, anyway, I will see you guys on Sunday night. I got to go get ready for the rest of the stuff that I have today. I love you. Like I said, go to my website and send me a message if you have any questions, or sign up for a free call, or message me here. But I don't message you guys. You guys message me. All right. Love you. I'm out. I gotta go get stuff done. We're gonna sit and hang out with you guys for a while.